Welcome to Yellowstone National Park. I am so happy that I have finally made it back to this park. I visited once before in 2020 and I have been trying to make it back for years ever since. Full of factors that have kept me away from this magical place, and one of them is being the fact that I've been doing seasonal work, and so I work during the summer and the winter, with being early spring and fall are my times available to travel.
Hi, I'm Christine. After starting life over in 2020, I'm using seasonal work to build financial security, experience new places, and most importantly, keep living life as a big adventure. Come along as I live like a local in desired destinations, spend time in nature hiking, backpacking, and living out of my car, and craft the trips of my dreams on a backpacker's budget.
And while the park is open year-round, it's harder to visit during those seasons. Accessing places has been more difficult. But we have had a very mild autumn, which has allowed me to stay north longer, and can't believe how warm it is here today. Another factor that's kept me away is that, well, there is a lot of wildlife in this park, which is something that makes it so special. However, it does present a challenge, especially as someone who primarily travels solo. This is not necessarily the place that you want to be heading out onto the trails without a small group or at least another person to accompany. Um, okay. The bison are wandering a little close, getting a little close to me here. I feel like I'm one of those moronic influencers at the moment. I was I was here first, but I will yield to them, of course. Okay, buddy. So the wildlife here in this park is something that makes it so magical. While I might argue that Yellowstone doesn't have necessarily the most breathtaking landscape, in my opinion, it is still remarkable and beautiful. But the presence of wildlife here is something that just makes it oh so special. It is a dream of mine to see wolves in this park. And I don't know that that's going to happen on this trip, although I would love to see wolves. I would love to see a grizzly. These bison, well, that's pretty cool, and they're everywhere here. And I've also had the pleasure of seeing antelope as well as a coyote this morning, and I had a really interesting run-in with a raven yesterday afternoon. All right, this is getting a little close for comfort, so I think I'm gonna, yeah, I think it's time to pack it in. Yeah, this is where we're at. Definitely feeling a bit too close to them. All right, okay. We're just gonna get in the car, kind of. All right, I'm in the car now with our bison buddy inching ever closer. Okay, he's kind of turned a little bit now. I think he doesn't care much about me, but there is a youngin or two moving closer with, or three moving closer with the group, so I care. This is so cool. Really beautiful. But the long shadows of autumn are making themselves known. So the day is coming to an end and I need to find camp for tonight. So I think it's about time for me to start making my way out to do that.
of the park, and there are these antelope grazing right along the side of the road. Really cool. I've got to go find camp. I still don't know where I'm going. I mean, I have an idea. Always have an idea or two. For forever. Alright, $15 ain't too bad. Let's see if they got sites for us. Sites, it looks like, although sometimes it can be misleading because you gotta check the poles, make sure they're not snagged up and there's just nothing sitting there. Also might be driving the wrong way on this one way. I don't like that very much. This one's right across from the bathroom, but where do you park? This might just be it, lucky number 13. Kinda like it. It's not super flat, but there is a bunny. It comes with the bunny. I like bunnies. He might have to move though. Onward.
I am nose in on this campsite. I don't typically go nose in on a campsite just for safety reasons, but I am in a paid campground, and this site is great, but it's a little bit inclined at the front, so I'm just giving myself the opportunity for success here. I want to sleep well tonight. I have not slept well recently, and I'm hoping tomorrow will be a big day of exploring the park. I'm going to try to open my hood here, make sure we don't get any unwanted visitors. Okay, you're going to open all the way like that. We can do partial. We can do a partial. I think I hear coyotes in the distance. So exciting. You gotta look at the moon. They're probably howling at the moon. To go put my tennis up. Okay. That's my ball right there. Alright. Nice. And that's home for tonight. Probably not going to be too surprised to hear me say that I am going to make something easy for dinner this evening because, yeah, when do I not? Put out my rug first. Helps me change my shoes without getting too much debris in the car. see. Well, while dinner's cooking, I thought I'd share that I just got some news, some weather-related news. All these past weeks, I've been counting my blessings that we've had a prolonged summer season and a warm autumn. However, that's about to change. I got a winter storm warning for what is essentially Wednesday night. Today is Tuesday, so that means tomorrow's going to be a big day exploring the park. I had mentioned earlier that I haven't been getting very good sleep, and part of that is just I've been pushing, experiencing things along the way, but also trying my very best to make it out here to Yellowstone, to experience it while I can, and I am grateful for the time that I've had, although it's going to be a bit short. It's taken me years to get back here, and a lot of my hesitance, even when I did have time and the season was appropriate, was that I was nervous to travel here by myself. I've been solo traveling for almost 20 years. Um, doesn't mean I've never traveled with anyone else, but a lot of my travels for the past 20 years have been solo, and that is not necessarily my preferred method, but the most reasonable one, I guess. And I say that because sometimes you find that if you're waiting for someone to go with, you'll be waiting forever. So I have taken it upon myself time and again to just take the leap and set out by myself. And I realized that I was really dragging my feet in coming back to Yellowstone by myself because I was scared. I was scared of the wildlife. And sometimes when you travel alone, you have to make adaptations. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm feeling comfortable doing, and that is excluding any hikes that are not heavily populated in developed areas. So tomorrow I'll probably hit some of the boardwalks and trails and things like that so I can see some of the sites. But in terms of real single track kind of trails, I would love to experience those in this park, and I never have, but now's not the time. Last night it was pretty cold. When I got up in the morning, it was 28 degrees. But I was warm, and I'm not just saying that. I'm not just trying to make this seem easy. I was genuinely warm. All I was sleeping with was this one duvet. When I initially fell asleep, I had the wool blanket on me, but that didn't last too long. Now, it helps that I'm essentially a human furnace, and my cold tolerance is pretty high. My heat tolerance is really poor, actually. I guess I've just gotten accustomed to living in cold weather quite a bit. Where I lived for the past 2 summers up on Mount Rainier, above 6,000 feet, 6,400 feet, I think. It's not too hot there too often. You do get a couple of days during the summer where it maybe reaches the 80s, but it's a pretty chill place. And then, of course, I've been wintering at ski resorts. So last winter I was in Utah, and let me tell you, my winter driving skills vastly improved. And I actually do own a pair of snow tires. These are all-terrain tires, and these are new, and they're fantastic. And I have a pair of snow tires that haven't seen very many miles. They were new this past winter that I could throw on if I wanted to stay up in northern areas, but it's not really my plan right now. However, if I do end up needing to work at a ski resort and I need to be commuting, then I'll get them changed out. Those are stored right now in Utah. Truthfully, I think these window covers are really coming in clutch. And I use them a lot, even when I thought I never would, because I thought I would want to always be able to see outside, but I realize now I see outside enough during the day, and it's kind of nice to be closed off from the stimulus, but also it's just keeps me warmer when I have the reflective side in. Now this one in the back here is kind of a pain and doesn't like to stay up, so I think I might have to make a modification to the system. Right now they're just held on by suction cups, and well, they look like this because I painted one side of them black to try to be more stealth, and the paint's not really staying. And I do have a hack for that as well, that we'll see if I decide to do that. While I'm impatiently waiting on dinner, I figured it might be a good idea for me to go ahead and pull out my clothes for tomorrow. When you wake up and it's 20 something degrees outside, or even 30 something degrees, or even 40 something degrees, the last thing you want to do is crawl out from under your covers and change your clothes. So I find the best way for me to handle this scenario is to pick out my clothes the day before and just have them laying out. That way I can just pull them under the covers with me and get dressed for the day without getting out from under my warm covers. It's been pretty effective so far. It's also kind of a process to access my wardrobe because I have all these things here, but it's not too bad. And I only have to do it once a day. Over here, we're still not boiling. Jeez, I gotta crank this thing up. Let's see, wrong way. Let's go all the way. I'm cranking it up all the way. Alright, full flame. Alright, looks like we finally got a bit of a boil happening here. Good on that. Check the time. 7:12. I would like to say thank you to the moon that is providing us with all of the light source that we currently have. Sorry, this is grainy. It's real life here. We're just doing the best we can. Here's dinner. My eggs look atrocious. Peeling them in the dark was not it. Fortunately, they're not overcooked, but I did want them soft boiled, so to that degree they are. But we are fine. Got a little stray shell here and there. Great. This is rough. This is roughing it, guys.
Okay, dinner is ready, and my super simple dinner definitely took longer to prepare than I had anticipated, but there's a cold breeze outside, and we are at probably about 6,500 feet in elevation, so I did try to make soft-boiled eggs. They came out about hard-boiled. I know at about 6,500 feet it should take about 7 minutes to make soft-boiled eggs, the nice jammy ones, but my timing was just all over the place. But nonetheless, it's going to be a good dinner, and I hope to get some good sleep tonight and head out and adventure tomorrow. I'll see you in the morning. Very good looking. Very good looking. Why I pulled up right next to them. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. Do you need a map of Geyser?
No, thank you.
There you go.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Good morning. I just have to say I am feeling so much positive overwhelm and gratitude for being here today. I think I'm already being a bit sentimental given that today is my last day here in Yellowstone, and it's just been some place that I've wanted to come for years. And I'm just really grateful that I got to experience it. And I still have a full day ahead. So I went and started myself with a cup of coffee in Gardner after a great night at camp. This is a huckleberry latte, and it is delicious, I have to say. It probably has a lot of sugar in it, but it's okay. It's going to be a full-on day. I'm going to spend a few minutes here in Mammoth getting myself ready. Then we're going to go explore the visitor center and take off from there. Although there's a lot I want to do today, my personal philosophy when traveling is I would rather enjoy the thing I'm doing than be anxious about what I need to do next. So I'm going to move at a pace that feels right and really soak in each moment as it comes. And hopefully I can explore here in Mammoth. I'd like to explore the Norris Geyser Basin as well as the Old Faithful area. So those are 3 areas I'd like to explore today. But we will take it as it comes. And I hope you enjoy with me. But I'm going to get this a little bit more pulled together. So next time you see me, it'll be a little bit more pleasant, hopefully. Okay, we are ready for the day. I am caffeinated and I'm excited. So let's go check out this visitor center. I bought a sticker and I ended up having a lengthy conversation with a couple of girls that work in the gift shop, just talking about their experience working in the park and stuff. So didn't really film anything in there, but it was worth checking out.
Just to elaborate a little bit further about what I was talking about with the girls in the gift shop, if you're not familiar, I do seasonal work. So I've worked in National Park the last 2 summers, and able to have conversations about what people's have been. Experiences have been. I'm sorry, I cannot talk this morning. So they actually work for the nonprofit Yellowstone Forever and not for the concessionaire. So just hearing about their housing and that kind of stuff, like, it's good to get some firsthand information when it's available. It's like pseudo networking. So yeah, that's kind of just what we were chatting about, and I was giving them information about my experiences at the park I was at. So yeah, I got a lead on something if I decide to go in that direction, which is nice. There are all these boardwalks around the terraces, so I'm just walking boardwalks to check out the different views. Cool stuff. Quick with all those stairs. Whew. That's a lot of stairs, but not a bad way to start the day, I suppose. All right, got warm. All these stairs and sun coming up. There might be winter weather moving in later today, but it's hard to tell. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the drive over to the Norris Geyser Basin, and we're just gonna fast forward this right there. All right, I've made it to Geyser Basin, ready to check out this area that's completely new to me. I haven't even laid eyes on it except for at the little overlook that I stopped at a minute ago. But I've got my backpack on. The hike is just a little over 2 miles to cover both of the little hikes in this area, but I just wanted to have my bear spray and my tripod and all that stuff, so I thought might as well throw the backpack on. Make sure that I'm well prepared. Where Old Faithful Geyser erupts regularly to about 150 feet, Steamboat Geyser has the eruptions recorded over 400 feet tall. Historically, its observed eruptions are rare and can be years to decades apart. Apparently that geyser just erupted a few days ago, or like a week ago. That would be so incredible to see. Oh well, I don't know that I'll get that lucky today. able to capture the power that this is exuding. It is significant force. Incredible. It's just boiling underground, like so ferociously boiling. There's such an awareness of the power of this thing. It's like slightly making me nervous, like I'm entranced. It's so incredible, but I definitely have an awareness that this could be dangerous. Wow. All right, we'll just give it a little bit of space. Oh, how serene does that look? Also deadly, but we can pretend it's a tolerable temperature. I think this is one of those things that's just so remarkable, so mind-blowing that I definitely wish I had someone here to share it with. But that's why I'm grateful for you guys, because at least I'm sharing it with you. At least I get to share my reactions and interact with you in the comments. So, thank you. All right, that was it for the porcelain loop. Now I'm going to head over to the back basin loop, and that is where the steamboat geyser is. Although it's probably not going to be active, right? Okay, if you're going to do one of the two loops, actually the first one I did, forget what it's called right now, but that's the better one to do, I think, versus this back basin one. Um, it's still cool, definitely worth doing if you have the time and energy, but the other one I think is more breathtaking. Well, I am currently surrounded by plenty of steam vents, boomeroles. I personally am running out of steam. Um, I need to eat something. I saw some people having some sandwiches and kind of like stared at them for awkwardly long. Not the people, sandwiches. So I think my plan is to zoom on back to the car, drive to the first picnic area I can find, and make myself a pretty sad little sandwich with like the 3 ingredients I have and just recharge. So I will catch you on the flip side of that.
Right, the sandwich has been consumed, and I am now outside of Old Faithful Inn and very close to the Old Faithful Geyser, which is in the back over there. So the last prediction for the geyser is in about 53 minutes, give or take 10 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do with this time is actually go explore the Old Faithful Inn, something that I have an interest in, being somebody that's worked in hospitality for a number of years. Plus, it's just generally a historic building, so it might be kind of cool to look at. So I'm going to go have a look at that and then post up and wait for Old Faithful Geyser. Can I just say once again how lucky I feel? I mean, the parking lot is pretty much empty. It's 70 degrees outside. I mean, what a combination. I was having so much fun talking to the bartender there at the bar that I almost missed the geyser there, but I made it just in the nick of time, and that was pretty cool. Well, this is gonna wrap up my Yellowstone visit. I'm headed out of the park tonight to try to escape a winter storm, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for being here.